All right. So sorry about the technical issues there. I'm not really used to this application.
No problem. No problem at all. Okay, so we have until 9:20. We have 20 minutes, so we should get started.
All right then. Normally here we do AMAs. That stands for Ask Me Anything. Are you open, or is there anything that you want us to avoid?
Yeah, I prefer not to talk about those children that I was accused of murdering and eating in Cincinnati. Anything else is fine.
Okay.
It's a joke, dude. Please.
So, first question. You said that you're not comfortable using Discord. What's the reason why you're not comfortable with Discord?
Well, because I'm in hiding. And Discord is a far more complex structure, architecture, and software designed than Skype. Skype is old, full of holes, the most insecure in the world. Therefore, I know how to keep myself secure. There is no secure communication system in terms of stopping people from looking at what you type or what you read or what you transmit. And that's fine. I don't mind if people, I mean, I'm doing this publicly anyway, but I can't have someone knowing my location. Discord is a piss poor application if you're trying to hide your location from the world.
Okay, then. And so a user asked that we ask you about this. I wasn't very comfortable, but it seems like you're quite open. What was the deal with the neighbor?
In Belize?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, someone murdered him. And I know who. It was the Belizean government. We've been at war, Belize and I, for not my neighbor. I never spoke to my neighbor. For Jesus, over 6 months. Somebody poisoned my dogs on one night, and then my neighbor was murdered the following night. I mean, as if someone is stupid enough to, wait 24 hours and then take revenge on someone. Just 24 hours after someone had alleged that he poisoned my dogs. Well, he had dogs. Good God Almighty, he didn't poison a dog. No dog poisons a dog. No, the government poisoned the dogs. The government killed Greg Fall.
All right, then. So next question we've got. What do you think about coronavirus?
Well, let's get real, people. And China has sealed off Wuhan. Now, if anybody knows what Wuhan is, it's the Silicon Valley of China. It's where all of the top secret research on weapons programs and God knows what goes on. Now, they have sealed this city off, allegedly, because, well, there's a virus inside, and there is coronavirus. If you look at that virus, it's nothing but the common flu with a few extra genes for quorum sensing capabilities. It's nonsense. Outside of Wuhan, the death rate is 0.16%. The flu is 0.17%, for God's sake. So there's nothing unique about the virus. What's crazy is it's airborne. And so they're closed off a city. I didn't see them lower a glass dome 30 miles wide. Did you? No, they just don't let people come and go. And that's going to prevent an airborne virus from spreading. Please, God, people, wake up. Something happened in Wuhan. I don't have a fucking clue. But there was a breakthrough of such enormous magnitude that whatever it is, I promise you, when it is revealed, it's going to make the nuclear breakthrough that America had in 1945 look like a sandbox play. This much is happening, or something's happening, but it's not the virus. Good God, people, outside of China, the death rate is negligible. I mean, outside of Wuhan. Now, at Wuhan, once they shut it off, we don't know what the death rate is. We don't know what's happening. Nothing goes in or out of that city. People, for an airborne virus, wake up, world.
All right. Our next question comes from our user Frog. He wants to know, what's your perfect hangover cure?
NaC, carrot juice, and a half quart of vodka.
All right. And so later on this month, we're going to have Vermin Supreme on. What are your thoughts on Vermin Supreme?
I like Vermin. If you've ever seen photographs of Vermin and I together, I'm always smiling and laughing, have my arm around him. I love the dude. I think he'd probably make the best president of any of the running, especially the Libertarian crowd. Certainly better than me. More entertaining. Plus, what's wrong with ponies and flossing?
All right. Do you have any thoughts on the Democratic primaries going on?
No, nor the Republican. Listen, let's clear the air. I don't believe it matters who the president is, because I don't think presidents have any power. I think the last president who had any power was Dwight Eisenhower, and he warned us when he left office in 1960, beware of the CIA, it will steal all of Americans' freedoms. Well, the next president was John F. Kennedy. It only took him a few months to figure out, oh my God, the CIA is running amok. So he announced he was going to disband the CIA and take their functions and give them to the military covert intelligence agencies, which operates overseas, just like the CIA. Unfortunately, a month later, he was shot in the head by accident. His brother, Robert Kennedy, then ran for president on the platform, I will dismantle the CIA as my first act as president. They didn't even let him get to be president. He was shot in the head a month later while he was campaigning. The next president, Richard Nixon, smart enough to say, I'm not dismantling you, really wanted to rein them in. Now, apparently, that's not even a capital offense. He was simply forced to resign. Since then, not one American president has challenged them. The CIA runs this country. The president's got no power. Listen, presidents do not make decisions in a vacuum. I mean, let's look at the second Gulf War. The CIA determined that, listen, we got to stop this rocky buildup. We need to bomb them into the Stone Age. So they told the president, and the president has no other information other than the CIA. Iraq's got nuclear weapons and the capability to deliver them to England through their ballistic missiles, our closest ally. And, Mr. President, we have data that perhaps as early as tomorrow, there will be a nuclear attack on our closest ally. Well, 4 hours later, we bombed Iraq into the Stone Age. Were there nuclear weapons? Of course not. We all knew it. Everybody in the world knew it except the president and Congress, all of whom are advised by the CIA. So please God, people, this is how it works. Selective information or outright lies. Presidents are puppets. I don't want to be one. I don't care who is one. Hillary, Trump, nothing changes. Please, people, look at your lives. When a president changes power, is a single hair on your head wafted by that monumental event that you spent so much time fretting over? No. Obama spent 4 years building up Obamacare. We all knew it wouldn't matter. 4 years later, it was dismantled. Donald Trump promises a fucking wall. He brags about building 93 miles, but 92 of them were simply repairing the existing wall. Nothing changes ever, people. Why the CIA does not want it to. So you ask me, what do I think about the Democrats, the Republicans? Nothing. They mean nothing to me, neither should they to you. You are watching a charade of horror of a two-party system that's at each other's throats and yet have no power.
Okay. Related question: what's your favorite? What's your favorite place to go on vacation?
Well, it depends where I was last. I mean, if I was in the Bahamas and wanted to go on vacation, I'd probably choose a tour of the fjords of Norway or something. If I was in the Antarctic, I would choose the Bahamas. Let's see, I like beaches, sand, water, boats, flying, fishing. I like water. Also, I like hiking in the Grand Canyon and traveling through the Navajo Res in America, or the Hopi Reservation, or the various Apache reservations. Like me, I don't know. It's different every day.
All right. And have you ever tried DMT?
Yes.
Well, what do you think about it?
Well, you see, people go, "What's your favorite drug?" I mean, it's a ridiculous question. My favorite drug for what? For sex? Maybe MDPV, or for PHP. For hellish introspection, acid. For the sensation of being kissed by God, heroin. For a nice dreamy experience, opium. Good God, they are all different. What is it that you want? DMT is like a collapsed acid trip that instead of going on for 12 or more hours is like bang and gone, but can sometimes shatter your world in the process.
All right. So you don't think that just pulling back a second here, you think the CIA is in control of everything in the U.S.?
Absolutely. No question.
Okay. So if I were to ask you if there's anything that Trump's trying to do that you like, there really wouldn't be anything?
I could care less.
Okay.
He's got no power. He's got no power. What Trump does is what the CIA allows him to do, and Trump does not even know he's being a puppet. Do you understand? If you control all the information, you have all of the power, because you can make people do anything that you want by simply giving them the appropriate information. You want a husband to be mad at his wife, and you tell him that she's been fucking the neighbor and have 10 people back you up. Doesn't matter that it's a lie. Look at the havoc that you can wreak. Or she's not fucking the neighbor, but there's a guy who comes over every day, but you know that he's working on some weird problem with the heater in the basement. But you get people say, I didn't know this Sally, Fred, that your wife Sally is meeting a man every day at 10 o'clock. Well, and so Fred goes and checks. Yeah, absolutely, it's the truth. Doesn't mean anything is happening. It's all inference. So yes, the CIA controls America, people.
All right, let's see. Next question we've got here. Pulling back a little bit, should they bake the cake?
No.
Anything more to say on that?
No.
Okay. All right. And question about gun rights. Should there be any limitation on them at all?
None whatsoever. I don't care if you're an insane lunatic. If you're a hazard, the neighbors will work it out. I promise you, this is how life truly works. Making a blanket law that someone who is legally insane should not have a gun. Well, who the fuck is not legally insane sometimes? Ever been mad? I mean, people are full of grace and compassion, love, and all the other good things. But every one of us is also sometimes angry, unjust, jealous, fearful. Good God, people. Give a gun to anybody and you're giving a gun to a crazy person, at least part of the time. So fuck that shit. No restrictions.
Okay. And are there aliens, intelligent life forms out there?
Well, I'm a mathematician. Statistically, there certainly have to be. I mean, listen, do you realize how, first of all, we count looking for planets. Almost every star we find out has some sort of planetary or some dark object that's rotating, revolving around it. The rotation is spinning on axis. I get it confused sometimes. But yes, statistically, there have to be. Do we have any at Area 51? I find that very unlikely. Uh, the last people in the world to ever know would be presidents. Do you know what the CIA calls presidents? People, transients. And they have access to information on a need to know basis only. Do you think presidents go in there and look at anything? Bullshit. No. So asking next president's no good. So you have to sort of infer it. No, I find it unlikely that we have them locked up and that they're helping us. I mean, listen, if a race of intelligence is capable of doing intergalactic travel, we're not people to cooperate with. I mean, we're so low down on the life form that the people traveling here must be so advanced they may not even recognize us as life forms. So no, I don't think we have any.
Okay.
One more question, my friend.
Okay. So you call yourself a libertarian. What are your thoughts on libertarian socialists?
Yeah, I've never called myself libertarian. I'm simply running on the libertarian banner. Good God, I'm not a libertarian, nor a Democrat, nor a Republican. I'm John McAfee. There are no such things, people, libertarians or Democrats. There are simply people who choose to compromise their true selves in order to belong to something and to validate those few beliefs that they hold most important. Good God Almighty, stop doing that. There wouldn't be this inter-party war if no members of the party were members. Why would you join a Democrat or Republican group? Life is not a fucking fraternity, people. It is a collection of individuals, each and every one of us unique, irreplaceable, and impossible to define in any general term. No, I'm not a fucking libertarian. I'm just running out of party banner because it's convenient to me. If they were Satanists and had ballot access in more states, I'd be running on the Satanist ballot. I don't give a shit. Anyway, thank you so much, my friend. All right.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.